Can we give a shout out to high school and elementary school where making friends and having a crowd of people around us was so much more ready available than it is in adulthood? Once you get into adulthood, they don't tell you that making and keeping friends is a whole nother ballgame. Let's talk about the different types of friendships and the friendships that you should avoid as an adult. Today on Tea Talk with Nika. I'm Nika Mora and welcome to Tea Talk with Nika. Today we're going to talk about friendships, particularly the types of friends that we may encounter in our lives that we need to be mindful of and hopefully step away from or get out of our lives. One of the things we have to recognize with friendships is that as we change with time, our friendships will change in time, and that might mean that at certain periods of our life, the friends that we had before might not be serving their same purpose for where we are now in our lives. So let's talk about 5 types of friends that you should definitely avoid if you're encountering them in your social setting. Friend type number 1, let's call her Negative Nancy. I'm pretty certain we've all had a Negative Nancy in our life, whether that be a close friend or a coworker, or maybe it's even like a cousin or an aunt or someone that we consider to be someone really close to us. But for Negative Nancy, nothing makes her happy. She's always complaining about something. If it's sunny outside, well, the problem is that she'll get sunburned. If it's raining outside, her hair is gonna get messed up. If it's windy outside, well, who knows what can happen, but something bad will happen because Negative Nancy sees everything as something negative. Nothing makes her happy. Negative Nancy loves to complain and complain and complain. She spends most of her time with her friends complaining about the various things that have happened during her week that have made her oh so put upon. And I guess her purpose is that she wants you to console her and to empathize with her to validate her feelings of misery. But it's not enough just to feel miserable with her. If you start talking about something great, she'll always find the downside. If you say that you got a new promotion, oh, well, that means that you're going to have more responsibilities and you're probably going to be at the office later. If you're dating a new guy, well, hopefully he doesn't cheat on you. Negative Nancy always has something negative to say. She can never be happy, and she is draining. If you're not careful, being around Negative Nancy makes you start second-guessing the decisions that you're making in your life. Maybe I shouldn't take that job. Maybe I shouldn't be dating this guy. Maybe I should go check his phone. What if he's cheating on me? Negative Nancy will have you upset or paranoid, will have you confused about every decision you make in your life. Something that you feel right for you, Negative Nancy will still find fault. Be careful of Negative Nancy. Friend type number 2 is Judgmental Judy. Judgmental Judy will always look at what you're doing as, why do you want to do that? Who do you think you are? If you try and improve yourself, Judgmental Judy wants to know, well, why would you do that? Well, aren't you comfortable where you are? Why do you have to try and do more? That's just too much problems for me. I would never take that on. She always has something to comment, something to judge. If you like something and she doesn't like it, well, of course, her opinion should be law. So how dare you go against what she thinks? Judgmental Judy tends to be one of the loudest people in the groups because she always wants to make sure that her opinion is heard and validated. Doesn't matter if there are 1,500 reasons why her opinion doesn't make sense. Like, Judy, it's totally sunny outside. What are you talking about? Like, it's gonna rain. It's totally sunny. Well, you don't know because I saw the news report and there's a cold front heading from South Carolina over to Texas and the jet stream is gonna bring it over our way. Judgmental Judy always has a reason of why she is right and why you are wrong, and why you should agree with her opinions on everything and live your life in accordance to what she feels is proper. The unfortunate thing is that Judgmental Judy might not be a friend. Judgmental Judy could be your mom, or she could be your sister, or someone that's very influential in your life. And if you're not careful, Judgmental Judy will make sure that you live your life according to what she feels fit, not for what you feel is right for you. If you end up doing that, you end up living your entire life for someone else. And at the end, you're looking at it like, wait, I don't even like any of the stuff that I'm doing here. How did I end up in this place? Well, you ended up in that place because you were trying to be friendly and listen to your friend, judgmental Judy, and she totally steered you the wrong way for what is best in your life. The next friend type we're going to talk about is settling Sara. Settling Sara is an interesting one because she doesn't quite complain all the time. She's not as vocal as a judgmental Judy or as a negative Nancy. But settling Sara is one of those friends that you're looking at them and you're like, you have so many talents, but you refuse to do anything. You refuse to apply yourself to really shine and bring those talents out to the forefront where everyone can, relish in them and where you could rise to this pinnacle point in your life. Because settling Sara likes comfort. Settling Sara does not like to step outside of her comfort zone ever. Settling Sara will stay with the same guy who's cheated on her multiple times for almost a decade because, oh my God, the idea of having to start over with someone completely new and putting all of that time scares the hell out of settling Sara. She'd rather settle with someone and be unhappy than to try something new and be in a position that might actually benefit her life and make her happier. Settling Sara also likes to complain about her job. She'll always be late for work, but then she'll complain that, I just want to get my how many ever years here so that I can get whatever bonus or whatever pension she might be getting for that job. Even though settling Sara has so many talents and could probably break out on her own and start her own thing. And I get it. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but settling Sara won't even look for a job that would pay her more money because the idea of having to go for interviews and having to dress up and then having to start over someplace else totally freaks settling Sara out. She does not want to be in an environment that makes her in the least bit uncomfortable, whether that be her personal relationships, whether that be her work relationships, or whether that be even her family relationships. Settling Sara just likes to settle, and she doesn't like it when you try and bring it to her attention that she should be trying something else. And well, if you're miserable, have you thought about this? Yeah, I've thought about that, but it takes so much effort. Settling Sara just likes to be in her settled state. The next friend type that we had is scared Scarlett. Scarlett is scared of everything. She's kind of like a settling Sara, but a little bit more extreme. Anything that is new freaks her out, to the point where she refuses to try anything new, even if it's totally safe. Scared Scarlett, everything freaks her out. If there's that new Indian restaurant on kind of the transitional part of town, don't even think about inviting scared Scarlett to go to that restaurant for dinner. She will think of 800 different ways that you can get gang raped, that you can get human trafficked, where your kidneys will be removed and sold on the black market. She is just the extreme of the what ifs, and it affects everything in her life. She refuses to move out of her parents' house or any place outside of her comfort zone because scared Scarlett is scared that having a new place will mean new financial responsibilities. And what if she loses her job? And what if she can't pay her rent? And what if she decides to leave her job? It's always the what ifs with scared Scarlett. Scared Scarlett is stifling herself because she refuses to think and to think positively. Scared Scarlett is always going to be hindered because she's attracting the exact things that she does not want in her life. Her hypersensitivity and her scared mentality is just bringing all of these different things that are freaking her out to her. Everything she sees in the lens of it being something threatening or something unsettling or something uncertain. And scared Scarlett doesn't know how to deal with it. She doesn't have the coping skills or even the functional skills to make certain that she can make a positive way in her life. She'd rather stay sheltered in a bubble and think that that is protective and then that's how she's going to make the best of her life. But in the meantime, she's not living. She's not out experiencing things. She's not out meeting people. God forbid you try and set her up on a blind date. She's gonna think that the guy's a serial rapist or a serial murderer and that she's gonna end up chopped into 15 pieces in the garbage inside of the building. You can never do anything with scared Scarlett. Traveling to another country? Are you kidding me? Girls trip in the car? Forget about it. What if the car breaks down at the side of the road and then some serial killer comes and kills us all and drops us into the woods? She always has the extreme of what anything could happen in life. and it really just prevents her from living. And even though she's friends with you and you might be a person that really wants to get out there and experience things, her fear passes on to you. So you start again to second guess what you're doing and say, oh, okay, maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I shouldn't go there, because what if there's a rapist that's going to end up chopping me into 50, 100 million pieces and dumping me in the river? That's what Scared Scarlett does to you. Don't hang out with Scared Scarlett. So these different friend types, I'm pretty certain we've all seen them in our lives. And it's for us to recognize when to distance ourselves from people that are going to limit us. When we have big dreams and when we have high aspirations in our life, being around people with limiting beliefs, it's contagious. Remember at summer camp or in the dorms in college where all of the girls ended up on the same period cycle because they're all living together in close quarters? That is energy. The energy that we have amongst us, it's infectious. We end up sharing that with other people. So if you have friends that's a judgmental Judy or a scared Sara or a negative Nancy or any of these other types that have these limiting beliefs, you will end up taking on those same beliefs as your friends. And that's just going to end up limiting your life and preventing you from living your best life. So be mindful of these friends with their limiting beliefs. And at times you might have to say, okay, I can't hang out with you anymore because it's time for me to grow. The hardest thing for many of us to do is to leave behind friends that we've had for a while. But if you really want to grow, and if you're being surrounded by people that have limiting beliefs, you have to shed these people and move on to something else. It's scary because at periods of time you might be by yourself. You probably won't have a lot of people to go out with or to even just experience things with or even to talk to. But the unfortunate reality is that people with these limiting beliefs, they do not feel comfortable when you step outside of something beyond the norm. If you try and advance yourself, or if you're trying to better yourself, or if you're just trying something new, or if you want to stretch yourself, they will bring up into question everything that you do, wondering, why are you doing this? You should be happy with what you have. You're in a good job, you have a great relationship, everything is fine. You shouldn't want anything more. But life is about experience, and if we just settle into the norms of what we have every day, we are going to die a miserable death. I say this really, because life is about experiencing. If you're scared to experience life, then you're not living. We have such a finite time here to make our mark, to have fun, to live, to breathe, to enjoy. And if you're surrounded by people that are like scared to even walk outside of their house, that will end up rubbing off on you, and it's going to limit you for what you can experience. So be mindful of those friends that have the limiting beliefs. If you need to pull yourself away immediately, get amongst people that have higher aspirations, that are a little bit risk takers, that'll push you outside of your comfort zone, because those are the people that are going to help you grow. So I hope this information was interesting, fun, and helpful for you. Do you have a friend that's a negative Nancy or a judgmental Judy? Leave so in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I am Nika Mora, and this is Tea Talk with Nika. Stay beautiful.